Welcome to Colormaster and our WorkStream training session. In this training segment called Basic WorkStream, you will learn how to create new orders, apply and crop products, connect with your retouching software, and send orders to our lab. This training starts with WorkStream already loaded. The WorkStream software can be downloaded from our website, or we can send you a CD. Loading the software is easy and takes only 5 minutes. If you have trouble installing WorkStream, there is a short training video that will walk you through the setup, or please call us and someone will help. WorkStream will appear as an icon on your desktop. Simply double-click and WorkStream will open. WorkStream, as with many other programs, will have multiple ways to complete the same task. As an example, we're going to start with New Order. You'll see New Order in the middle of the screen. You'll also see it in the top left. In the top left, you'll see Open, here Open, Browse, and then Browse again here. Let's create a new order. Simply hit on New Order, type in your customer number, hit Get Next Order Number. What will happen is if you're adding a new customer, it'll say, do you want to do this? You hit OK. Hit the Get Next Order Number again. That order number is 68. We want you to send us a 7-digit number. The first 3 digits will be your new account number that you are assigned. Say that my account number is 000. I'm going to put that in and a dash and 00, and the numbers that I asked, that the Get Next Order number was 68, so that's what I'm going to put in. This helps with us not getting duplicate numbers. It'll also help you when you hit this Get Next Order number to not duplicate your numbers at your studio. Hit Next. Browse button comes up. Browse button lets you browse anywhere in the computer, obviously, to bring up the images you'd like. Highlight the images you want. Hit Open. They'll appear here. Hit Finish. And it brings the images in to WorkStream. WorkStream is a fast program. You can see how quickly it brought those images in. It's fast because what you're working on right here are thumbnails. Any of the changes we make today in WorkStream do not change the original image. It simply adds a tag file to that original image. When we get the image, then the tag file tells us how you want that printed. Now you can see that some have come in rotated just as you would shoot them. First thing we're going to do is you click on the image you want to rotate. We're going to select them all. I'm holding my control button down and clicking on them, the ones I want to rotate. Right click, you'll find a rotate button. We're going to go counterclockwise. That presents them all the way that you want them presented. Now let's say that you wanted to send a proofing order to the lab. Tab buttons over to the left give you a lot of different options. Colormaster gives you all the basic 8x10s, 11x14s, all the basic products. It will cover probably 80% of what you need to do. Okay, we're going to send 4x6s to the lab. I'm going to highlight over here, hit my Control-A button, which selects all the products, come back, highlight 4x6, double-click the 4x6. You can see it adds a product to everything. Now, if you were sending proofing to the lab, and you applied the 4x6, you looked at it, and everything looked great. You didn't need any cropping or didn't need to change any cropping in any way. Hit the FTP button. You have order notes if you want to tell us anything. You can type anything in there you like. Hit the next button. Always leave this screen alone. Hit the next button. You have the option to FTP to Colormaster or to burn it to disk. In most situations, you're going to be FTPing to Colormaster, but if you do not have high speed or need to burn a disk for some reason, you just simply hit your disk, and that will take the order, save it on the hard drive, and then you open your burn program and burn the CD. What most people do from a workflow standpoint, they FTP orders to us. When they get the order back, they will also burn a disk for backup so that they have that in the future. Because when you put that disk in and bring it back in, it will have all the products and all the cropping changes that you had made on that order. You would hit Finish, and it would FTP it to our lab. Now, let's build take an order, take an image here, and let's build like we're building an order. Add some products. Can add a 20x24. Can add a 5x7. 8 wallets. Okay, let's go to the 5x7. I'm going to highlight the 5x7 and double click. I'm going to double click on the image again, and this will show you the image lines. Now, You put the cursor in the middle, you can move that 5x7 anywhere you want it. You put the cursor down on the bottom, the top, or the sides. If you put your cursor on the red lines, either the sides or the top or the bottom, it allows you to make that crop the way that you want that crop. So we go back, we look, you can see the 5x7, how tight that is. If you highlight here, it'll show you your crop on the 20x24. That shows you the 4x6, and so on. If you hit on your image number, you can see how tight that 5x7 is. In the other lines, the 20x24 and the 4x6. Let's go back to the 5x7. Double click, make the image large. Double click again, and then I'm going to right click, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to match all crops to this 5x7. That's the way I want all the products to look on there. We want to go tight in on her face. Now the way that you can check that is, up here in the top right, you've got product buttons that will take you to each product. The image buttons actually change images and go to the next one, and so on and so forth. So, if you want to check all your crops, that's how you do that. Highlighting each image. You want to see them all at once, you can see what it did. Up here, if you want to have that 5x7 of black and white, you can change it to black and white. If you want to make a note on like the 20x24, highlight the 20x24, click the product notes over here, and lots of times they'll show up like this. And so you hit the product note like that, click over here, say spray. Product note will show up over there. You'll have the black and white icon for the 5x7. You'll have the note icon for the note. When that comes to the lab, we click on it, and it'll tell us what you need to do. If you need to take a blemish off of her, hit the retouch button. This window will come up telling you that if you change sizes, it will affect your original file, because of course we're in Photoshop now, and so any changes you make in Photoshop are done to the original. It'll open it in Photoshop. Let's magnify in there. Let's take off that blemish real quick. You do what you need to do. You hit the close button, save changes. Yes. Shows back up in WorkStream. If for some reason you make a obvious change in Photoshop and you bring it back down to WorkStream and you don't see the change made here, right click. There's a refresh thumbnail. You hit the refresh thumbnail and it will show you the changes you've made in Photoshop. So again, we're done now. We've done all the things we need to do. FTP button. In the order notes, if you have notes below in the other images, it's helpful for us if you just put in here, see order notes below. Hit next. Again, leave the screen the way it is. Next. The FTP option or the disk option. Leave it on FTP. Finish. Sends it to our lab. You can print an order summary. We're going to preview the order summary. This will show you what it looks like. It will print out actually with the thumbnail images on it. It'll show you underneath what you had on each image. Up top will give you a summary. It shows everything that you've done in there. 17 4x6s, 1 8 wallet, 1 20x24. The order notes up here, if you had put in there, please see notes below. That's the very first thing that we read on that page, so that helps us to keep track of the things that you want done below. Okay, now, if you want a proof book, you go to the tab on the left, hit proof, and we're going to go for a 4x5 4-up proof book. Highlight that, double click it, it will add the template. I'm going to select all the images in the order. Oh, one thing I need to tell you that I just noticed. These images are horizontal, obviously. These are all vertical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these so that the presentation-wise they look just like that. And I'll show you why. We're going to select all the images. Okay, they're all selected. Simply drag them over and drop them in the first window, and it will populate all those pages, and it does it that quickly. Now, the reason that we did this on the proof book when they're turning the pages, it's much easier when you're opening the way that we would go through a page. You just to turn it slightly so that they can get a good look at the horizontal shots. Now, if you wanted to crop something in here, simply double-click on the image, and again, it's just like we showed you earlier, and that will stay on that particular proof page. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. Templates done for memory mates are the same thing. If you had 50 football players, you would bring a template in. You would drag the team picture in first. Then you would highlight all 50 boys, drag them down, drop them in, and it populates them just as quickly as it populated these proof pages. At the bottom, you've got a slide bar. The slide bar will allow you to view fewer images at once or a whole bunch at once. If you right-click, when your image is large, it allows you to zoom in on that image a little bit more if you want to check it for blemishes or something like that. Retouch button, a float image button.